Greetings, people of the verse. This is Arndelft. So I just finished playing Titanfall 2's campaign, and gameplay-wise, it was a lot of fun, and I'll honestly give it a 7 out of 10. Storyline-wise, I'd give it maybe a 4 out of 10. Why? Predictability, lack of believability, and a lot of disappointment. Now, at this juncture, I just want to say, spoiler alert, past here. So if you haven't played the game and you don't want any spoiler alerts, just go ahead and stop it here. Now, for me, the most unforgivable thing to do in any story is to make it predictable, and from square one, I was certain Captain Lastimosa was going to die, and we'd take over as Titan, once we deployed onto Typhon. That was especially made certain when he mentions how rare his Titan is, or what exactly he said, and just basically started naming how unique his Titan was. The more he talked about that, the more I was sure he was going to be dead. And that certainty increased more and more, and the moment he arrived to save Cooper, I was absolutely sure of it. At that point, it was just waiting for his heartbeat to flatline, and it didn't take long for that to happen. Throughout the whole story, things felt rushed. Fact is, the only time I felt any true interest in the story at all was when we arrived at the ruined IMC facility where the experiment with the Ark took place. I kept wanting to search around the facility and scrounge out every single audio log. The atmosphere was amazing with all the thunder, lightning, and rain. It gave the place a great feel. Then when you start using the wristband you get off Captain Anderson, and to teleport through time, it instantly added a very interesting twist to the game. And that not just storyline-wise, but gameplay-wise. It was extremely interesting. And I enjoyed every last bit of it. Fact was, I was immediately disappointed when that mission ended, and it would be the only real reason I'd ever go back and play that campaign ever again. One thing I seriously enjoyed gameplay-wise was how the developers seemed to have inserted a sort of puzzle aspect to the game, which, as being a pilot, it was not only fun to do, but believable, which is a rare combination in any game. All in all, the campaign felt rushed. I had a hard time believing the characters would actually act the way they were acting, with one exception: the bond between PT and Cooper. If anything, I feel that was understated, especially considering that awesome trailer for the game that emphasized their bond. The game itself didn't do nearly as good a job as that lone trailer did in creating a bond between man and machine. Now, the final nail in the coffin for me was yet another note of heavy predictability. About halfway through the campaign, I realized BT was going to die. I really hoped I was wrong, but as the campaign went on, that certainty increased, most especially after you think BT is dead, when Sloan puts several rounds into his body, and then Cooper just removes his core and puts into a new Titan. That's when I knew BT was going to die. Then, to add insult to injury, at the very end, Cooper is talking about how he's going to be inducted into a group of pilots known as the Marauders, and how, after his old neural link to BT is erased, he'll be bonded to a new Titan. He casually refers to his bond to his old Titan BT with the words, "I kinda liked the old one." Seriously? Are you serious? Way to completely downgrade the entire relationship BT and Cooper developed, not only in that awesome trailer, but even in the game. You totally made me feel like Cooper had absolutely no problem moving on after losing BT. Made me feel like he barely cared about him at all, which makes me really wish that Cooper had been the one who died instead of BT. All in all, this had been one of the most disappointing and nigh on pointless campaigns I have ever played. So, in closing, how much would I say this game's worth? Not the full price of $60. I bought the game for about $23, and then add on some tax, about $25. And that was on a sale of 60% off. And I'd say for purchasing a game like this for a poor campaign but good gameplay, that's about a fair price. So my recommendation is to only buy this game on a sale of 50% off or higher. Now, if anyone has any feedback, please leave in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with me? What are your thoughts on the game? What do you think they did right, and what do you wish they'd done differently? Well, thanks everyone very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. In any case, don't get into too much trouble or do. It's always up to you. Toodles!